No niin. Hi everyone in class of 1976. That was the bicentennial year which I got to spend in New York Mills. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm Kirsi, the exchange student from Finland who spent 1 year there, first at Pauk's family and then at Beth's home at Ollie's. It was a splendid year, but now I want to give you a short kind of a history, what happened afterwards. I got to Finland in August, and then I went back to my own school and graduated from there in the spring of 1977. After that, I started studying in Turku University, and then I studied economics in the Swedish-speaking University of Turku. After a while, I met Juha, and we got married. And the wedding was almost like I planned in the family life class in New York Mills High School, and it was kind of funny. We have been now married for 44 years, if I count right. First we lived in Turku, and I got my first child, Riikka, my oldest daughter, in 1985. And then we moved to Laitila. That's about 1 hour from the former capital of Finland, Turku, and it's a small country town. And we have now lived here almost 40 years already. Laitila is a very small town in southwest of Finland, about 2.5 hours drive from Helsinki airport. I started to work in Rauma, which is again an old small town, and I worked there over 30 years, mainly marketing and selling paper and pulp in the company United Paper Mills. We are now living still in the farmhouse with only garden, no fields, no animals, but in the middle of a countryside close to the town of Laitila. Then my husband Juha has own law office, and he is still working, although I'm retired already 4 years back. And we had Greta in 1989, our second daughter, and then Juho, our son, in 1994. So he's already over 30, he too. Sorry about the noise, that's my grandchildren who live next door. During the years we had, when the children were still at school, we had several exchange students, and Daniela from Brazil, a girl who visited here afterwards a couple of times, and we even got to spend and attend her wedding in Brazil. And then we got Ian from New York State, and he's now living in California and visited us last summer after 20 years of spending a year here as an exchange student. We had Emily from France, now mother of 4 children, and also her wedding we attended, and she has visited us a couple of times. And then we had a girl from India for 1 month, and there also our daughter Greta spent 1 month at her house in India. Traveling has been our hobby since the children were small. We took them to Spain during the cold winters, to several European cities, Brazil, Philippines, even Trinidad and Tobago once. We also visited Mexico and US in California, South Carolina and Florida. Watched some ice hockey games as our relatives played in HAL for several seasons. And also visited our exchange student Ian during the business trip. But only once I got to visit New York Mills during a business trip, while my nephew Sami was there staying summer with Pauk's and learning English. And later my niece Anne spent time learning English at Pauk's too. So grateful that they got to live there and get to know Pauks and the New York mills. It was a splendid summers for them. And also Mom, Lilian, and her brother, both of her brothers visited us several times while they were meeting with their relatives in Finland. This happened in late 80s, and I have so good memories of their visits. Also, Beth's parents, the Ollies, visited us a couple of years after my exchange year. They had a so lovely time at my parents' farm, even helping with chores, and it surprised me how good Finnish Beth's dad spoke. I have so good memories from New York mills and spending time that I got to, and the most memorable was that I got to attend both prom and the graduation and even got a diploma from the high school. I treasure the memory of both the families I lived with and all the friends I made during that year. I'm not so good in keeping touch. Life has passed so quickly. It's hard to believe. First studies and busy with own small children and work and taking care of my parents. And now when retired, busy taking care of 4 grandchildren, 3 of them living next door and 1 in the closed town Turku. My dad passed away at the age of 97 and my mom at 90. I was so grateful to have them around so long. My home farm is now taking care of my only brother's son, and I live about 1 hour distance from my old home. We take also care of my husband's grandparents' old house and have summer house by the nearby lake. So all kinds of maintenance work, plenty. Only problem of getting old and cannot accomplish so much anymore. The days go so fast by, especially during the summer. Winters in Finland are milder here compared to what they used to be. Some snow still, and the lakes are still freezing for skating and other hobbies. About my children still, my oldest daughter Riikka is working as a lawyer in Laitila. Second daughter Greta is a mental nurse in Turku, and my son Juho studied law but is now making a career in music production together with his wife, who is quite a famous singer in Finland. It is sure interesting and fun to follow their career and go to their gigs and concerts. I wanted so bad to come to New York Mills for the class reunion, as was so happy to get the invitation from Beth. Unfortunately, we could not make it after long consideration, partly also because a bit afraid of getting into US with all these new formalities at the borders and the customs, and a bit also the uncertainty caused by the Iran war and the higher price of flight tickets. I hope the situation calms down and the wars in Ukraine and Middle East are solved soon, and I still dream of coming back to New York Mills, maybe next spring if things go right. But we in Finland, we warmly welcome all Americans. We don't have any restrictions for any of you coming into our country. So you are most welcome to visit, and for sure I can help with visit arrangements, and you are welcome to overnight at our place. We have plenty of room as the kids have now left the house. I sure hope you have a fun celebration of the 50 years after graduation, and that you all are doing good and fine and enjoying life. I send my warmest regards from Finland, and I hope to see you soon, hopefully next year. And please keep in contact. The easiest way is the Facebook. My last name is now Suutarinen, but I will write it down for you. It's Kirsi, and sending warm regards from Laitila, Finland. And would love to hear from you soon.